KCK 93 St. Louis.
Wait a minute, there's a dog in here. You did, Dr. King, you didn't bring any animals tonight.
Oh, I brought my wife.
Wait, what's that? Oh, my gosh. Well.
Teya can be quite an animal at times.
Oh, Teya. Teya is huffing and puffing because she just hurried back from Connecticut.
I did. I barely got there. There was a huge blizzard.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Actually, I left on the storm of the century. My husband kicked me out of the house and tried to get me on the plane. And
storm of the century, and you've gone to Connecticut. Well, why'd you go there? Was writing something or other?
Writer's residency at Fairfield University. Actually, it was held on Ender's Island, a little tiny island off of Mystic, Connecticut.
Well, that sounds very nice.
It's beautiful, and we get force-fed 3 times a day and gain a lot of weight. We're fattened like cows.
So yeah, you can really concentrate. I mean, this is an all-out deal. You don't have other stuff to occupy your time. You can just work on the writing.
It's pretty intense. We start about 7:15 in the morning. We don't get done until about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Oh.
There's about 25 faculty members there, just very, very well-known writers, and we just spend hours and hours doing our workshops and as well as the seminars. And then when we leave, we get paired up with a mentor who are all either novelists or very good poets, screenwriters, and that mentor works with us for the rest of the semester. And so
this is for a master's in creative writing.
Yeah, I'm actually just working on my thesis now, so I'm about 3/4 full past my novel.
So what's going to happen? Have you written the novel?
Yeah, I'm almost done with it. Now I'm just kind of revising and going through it. And actually, a novel has a lot to do with what Jay and I have been doing in the past couple of years since we met, which is running through the jungles and chasing after frogs and going after exotic animals. So the novel. And in fact, I did a screenplay last semester, too, based on the novel.
Well, that sounds very interesting.
Yeah, the guy that did, he wrote The Nutty Professor, Bill Patrick, was my mentor for that. And I sent a synopsis of the novel, and he said, you know what, this could be marketable, and I spent the whole last semester crafting a screenplay.
So what are you going to do next? Before as the screenplay is concerned, you're going to try to get it placed with a studio or a producer, director, or whatever. I don't know what to do.
I think so. It's like Steve, was it Perry or Barry? Barry. He's absolutely right. You have to be in the right place in the right time, and he would know. He's written hundreds of novels, but and for young up-and-comers, it's a really novel task. Anytime somebody takes on writing a novel and trying to craft it, it's masochistic. It's the hardest thing in the world. It's really hard on your marriage. It's very lonely.
Oh, my.
Very lonely.
I bet it is.
And it's very, very difficult. And you have to have it's got to be networking involved. You have to be very, very lucky.
And Teya has become best friends with everybody at the bread company. That's her office, that she goes there every day and with her laptop and writes for several hours.
I call it the bread company my office. You know, I am going to have to actually put them in a thank you.
I guess so. Yeah, it is. I see a lot of people sitting around with those laptop computers.
Because it's white noise. You're not distracted. If I'm sitting alone in my house with all the animals that Jay and I have collected in the house, and you've got, a moment of silence interrupted by screeching of birds or, barking of dogs. You'll do anything you can rather than sit your butt down and actually write. So.
I agree. I know the feeling.
Yeah, so I have to go somewhere where it's just people doing their own thing.
That's a good idea.
It works well.
Really
it really does.
Point. What animals, and Jay, what kind of animals do you guys have around the house?
Oh, we have...
What kind of animals don't you have around?
We don't have an elephant.
Oh, well, okay.
And we don't have a zebra.
But we know where we can get them if we need to.
That's unfortunately true.
We have dogs and cats and about 6 or 7 different types of birds, including some noisy cockatoos.
And cockatiels.
Cockatiels, doves, parakeets.
Gosh.
We have the boa. We have about 6 different types of turtles.
Great big huge ones and little tiny ones, and every kind of lizard on the face of the earth.
Frilled dragons that when they get upset, they They look like little velociraptors from Jurassic Park. They have these little frills a couple on their sides.
And don't forget the salami-sized geckos, the crickets that are chirping 24 hours a day, including the crickets that get loose in our house and are chirping 24 hours a day.
Because we get about 6,000 crickets a week to feed to all the animals in the house.
6,000? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Yeah. Half of which escape and go through the house.
Well, how do you get 6,000 crickets a week?
He orders them. He's the only man I know who actually orders them in St. Louis.
There's a company over in Illinois that you call up and you can order 1,000 crickets at a time of like 6 different sizes. You can get little pinhead ones up to inch-long crickets. So
wow.
And then they're delivered at work, and they always say, your crickets are here.
No wonder you go to the bread company.
Yeah, and they've got like 3-pound frogs down there, the mountain chicken frogs. And one night while Jay was sleeping, I actually took a tape recorder. It was after we were newly married. And I recorded about 30 seconds of our household. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And you started off hearing the symphony of snores from Jay, and he's good at it. Followed by his mountain chicken frogs. Let me see if I can do the proper impression. They sound like whoop, whoop,
Wow.
whoop. And then you have the tink frogs going tink, 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 tink. And then all the crickets, all the scurrying of the animals.
Yeah.
And I woke him up not too gently and said, "This is our house."
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Welcome to the rainforest.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like it would be. You go to those places. You go to rainforests, and you've been. Where have you gone for some of these things?
Well, actually, last year we bought 10.5 acres of rainforest in Costa Rica. So we have property, but nothing on it yet. So
you go to Costa Rica, and we stayed in Guyana, and that's where most of the research was for my novel. Jay's been to Dominica and
Venezuela.
We both go to Japan.
Kenya.
What do you get in Japan? What's the main reason to go there?
I go there for a martial arts training. So I go at least once a year and train with the Grandmaster and try not to get my butt kicked too much. And
not too many people know this, but Jay just got his 11th degree. He's in 11th degree black belt in ninjutsu.
Good heavens.
He's actually a ninja.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
a ninja vet.
Are there many 11th, whatever it is you just said, ninjas in this area?
Well,
I don't think so.
Well, I'm the highest ranking black belt in this art in Missouri. That there's probably 10 or 12 black belts in this art in the area, but I've just been doing it longer.
Sure. What do you do with this? I mean, do you put on demonstrations? Do you have competitions?
Well, I've got a few people I teach at the house. We've got a couple beginners and a couple more advanced students. The art we do, we really don't do any competitions because most of the things it's really a combat art. So you're doing breaking and killing and naming techniques. So you run out of people
pretty quick
for tournaments. So
run around people who don't want to come to your house. Thanks, Jay. I think I'm kind of might be busy.
You know, all the punching and ground fighting, swords, spears, handguns. Wow. We do pretty much everything. Most of the guys that go to Japan are special services or British commandos. I mean, there's all types of.
That's interesting.
I'm the mild-mannered one of the group, so.
Dr. Jay King is at the Watson Road Veterinarian Clinic, right across from Pietro's Fine Restaurant on Watson Road, obviously, in southwest St. Louis. That's where we take our pal, Maisie the dog, there, and I see lots of creatures in there of all types. And dogs are, I guess, predominant as far as your clientele is concerned?
Dogs and cats is what pays the majority of the bills at the clinic, but I get every weird little creature in St. Louis. I think I do the majority of all the rats and hamsters, guinea pigs. I mean, just today I did a couple rat surgeries.
Oh my gosh.
We had guinea pig. We had a little baby box turtle. We had a gecko, a boa constrictor.
Well, let me ask you just about a rat surgery.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, this is my favorite thing. Yeah.
What's the deal with that? What kind of surgery?
The two common ones are neutering of males. That cuts down on aggression, and then females are real prone to get breast tumors.
Oh my goodness, how interesting.
And
How big are these rats?
They're just the normal, size rats that, 8 to 9 inches long without the tail. And
What's really fascinating is when he says he's spayed a lizard. I mean, he sometimes he'll come home and he'll say, "Yeah, I saw 12 or 13 species today." Well, what'd you do? Well, I spayed a bearded dragon. How can you spay a bearded dragon?
I have these little nice magnifying loops that I put on, and I had somebody come in last week with this little lizard, and I know it's a little sugar glider that was probably 2 inches long, and I said, yeah, probably the next thing we'll see is a Great Dane, and of course, the next room I walked in was a 180-pound Great Dane.
Oh my gosh!
I'm like,
that's
okay,
funny.
now I got to adjust the fingers to a different mode.
Yeah, right. Well, when you do an operation, say the rat surgery, what do you give them? What kind of anesthesia do they get?
Most of those guys, we just give them like a gas anesthesia. You put them in a little container, hook them up to the gas. When they get sleepy, you take them out, put a little mask on them.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Yeah.
And you have somebody...
He's had to go to these workshops. He has to, all vets have to go through their continuing education, for lack of a better description. And just last year, he went out to a conference where they were working with scorpions and spiders and hermit crabs. And they can actually do surgery on fish.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, he explained it to me. They put a little tube through the gills to run water through the gills. Is that right?
You have to have the continuous flow of water going through the gills so they can breathe, and you run your anesthetic through the water so you can just keep them asleep that way.
Dr. King, now how many people in the St. Louis area do what you do with all of these type of exotic creatures?
There's not too many crazy people like me.
We'll be back in just a couple of minutes here on News Radio 1120 KMOX. John Carney Show, Johnny Rabbit.
About tradition, Vincent Mortgage, call us today. Talk to us, we'll see it your way. Vincent Mortgage, the name you know and trust.
839-9999.
Do you know the